website, Yenagoa. I'm a reporter for People's FM. My question is the process of recruitment and registration. Over, I think for like some 2-3 days now, we've noticed that people have not been finding easy to access the website for registration. Is the Commission doing anything to improve on that? That's my first question.
Okay. Any more so I can take over? Waves, Abby?
Waves, new waves.
What on this fan?
Good morning, ma'am. Once more. My name is Tobias Baby, New Waves. My question is, since the registration is online, and these scammers will have a field day. So, what is the Commission to forestall most of these things?
The authentic site to visit and all
yes.
For registration.
They will have a field day, very trying to
said that we're looking at the 10,000 minimum adult staff. So with the registration on this portal, are you monitoring it if you have gotten the required figure for the training? Gloria,
Let me start with my brother from People's FM. Because then people are reporting that they're having issues accessing the platforms. That's why we are trying. The site is on it's in the news right now. I know a lot of people through the PA department, they've put out our correct site. I'm also aware that a few days ago we had issues with NIM platform. It wasn't actually our own platform. It was actually the main platform that was giving issues. Because what we try to do, we want to make sure that you are the right person filling the form. And if your information doesn't match your name information, it will definitely trip you out. So we found out that people have tried to, of course, circumvent that process and it's not working. But NIM had an issue while we're in Abuja, but I'm very sure they will have corrected it by now. The site that I've mentioned it again here, they will also still give you the document, the briefing. The actual site is in the briefing. So that's why you are part of our advocacy group to help us put out the right address. And there are a lot of fake addresses out there. I know that quite a few times they've tried to bring out this e-recruitment thing, and we've had to go on air to debunk that it wasn't actually us. So we also on our part, we're also monitoring. Whenever we see these fake sites, we also tell people that that's not our correct site. And I think I'll just type that before I talk of the scammers one. We have a pretty tight network, and we are monitoring it day by day. As they're also trying to break in, we're also improving and fortifying our own website also. So I'm very sure we will not have that clash. But if there's any breach at any point in time, we'll immediately alert the public as to that. But we're believing that we will not have any issues. My brother from Glory FM talked about 10,000. We're going to actually require more than 10,000. All right, and we are monitoring every day. We are monitoring. As at yesterday, I sent you something about the number that have registered in Bayelsa State. Every day we are monitoring how many have registered, and as at yesterday we have over 3,000 Bayelsans that have succeeded in registering online. We have about 1,700 men and a little over 1,000 women. So we are monitoring every day. We're going to need much more than what we'll employ because we're going to take the best of the best. All right, so we're not limited to say when it gets to this amount that we actually need to stop. No, we're going to take much more than that because there's also going to be the physical assessment of the candidates. We'll also want to know if what we are claiming is correct. We'll also want to know if you are IT compliant, which is a basic thing. You must be able to operate at worst an Android phone. Like I read just now, a lot of the training to start online for different categories of those who are applying. So if you say you are a computer literate and you're not able to handle an online course, that means automatically you are going to be thrown out of the system. But for now, we're going to be taking as much as we can. My worry really is that we should try and register more. All those who are interested, we should also canvass that more people should register. We have some states who already have 7, 8, 9, 10,000 people that are applying. We know Bayelsa is only 8 local governments, so we'll not actually compare ourselves to the other states. But at least let's try and register that by the time they're picking and getting to the basic, we'll have the minimum required to carry out the census without having to ask for outside help. Because if we don't get the numbers from within, we won't have a choice. We'll have to bring people from outside. But because we want the process to be acceptable to us, we want our own people, let us count ourselves by ourselves. So that if I'm posted to Kayama, I will not try to change Kayama people. I will make sure we cover every cranny, every area is covered. And when the result comes out, Kayama people will not say, but we are more than this, but because your own children counted you people. Those are kind of transparency strategies that we're putting in place. We want every local government to be adequately covered. During the trial census, we had more of the brass people who participated than outsiders. But at this time now, it's like everybody should be ready to go into your area so that language barriers also will be overcome. Sure, you get it. So we're trying to make sure we do all that, but we don't. The 10,000 is the minimum. It's not even. There is still a far cry for what we actually need, because every area, all the EAs must be covered, and we need 2 people per EA to do the job. That's the enumerators themselves, and we need other categories of staff. So definitely we'll take as much as possible.
Yes, the final one for me. During the trial census, after everything, the commission had issues in terms of payments and all of that. I hope this process won't be difficult in terms of.
We've also worked hard, and in fact they paid. I'm sure they paid everybody, because I'm not getting the complaints anymore. What actually happened was we had our own challenges. That's why we call it a trial census. If we didn't try what we did, we will not be able to make amendments and plan better for the main census. So we've done that, but we also had a lot of issues with our own staff, because with the ad hoc staff, a lot of them, their numbers were wrong. There are some people who give you bank accounts that were their brother's own or their father's accounts. So meanwhile your name and the bank accounts are different, so it will not fly. So we had a lot of those issues. Some people had student accounts. I know they paid them over 100,000. The student accounts stopped at 50,000. So they were crying, they were not being paid, but actually the banks, when their accounts were not allowing us pay in what they were supposed to do. So we had that back and forth. That's why from this one now, from beginning, we are taking every information as much as possible. So I will start feeding it in where they have a general platform now that will be easier. That's why we're emphasizing now wherever we go that please make sure you give us normal accounts, no student accounts, no relatives accounts, no sister because you think it's the same name, but because your name that you've given us and the account name must be the same. Once they are different, it will not fly in the bank. You cannot say you are Arabi, okay, let me say Arabi is awful. Then you give me Solomon is awful's number. I send it to the bank will not credit that account because the names are different. So we are appealing to everybody now to do the right thing from the beginning. If you give us 2 separate names, it will not fly. If you try to use another person's name registration, it will not fly. So make sure that your name registration and your name and your bank account, they tally from this stage. Because if you don't put the right information in now, when it's time to pay, you'll be having issues again, and we don't want that. When we did in brass, we were only about 300 people. We went up to 300. Okay, 800 and something. We're 300 years. We are 857 for only brass. We all know the size of brass. Brass is not as big as Yenagoa, it's not as big as Southern Region. So mean that we will have much more than that 800 in the other larger LGAs. So it's going to be a much larger exercise for us for now. So please, I'm appealing again to Bayelsans. Make sure these 3 vital information tally: your name, your account number, your bank, and your name registration. If you use somebody else's name registration, you will come back and say you are not able to apply. So all this information must be tied together. Your account, if you are still a student or you just graduated or you are still in school, go and upgrade that account. Let it be a normal account. If you have a normal account, then any money that they pay would now be credited to your account. So that was why I think we had more of those. But we also had to use other platforms. We had to try other methods to see. We tried the federal government system. We also tried other state systems. But now I think they are normalized now, and they have a new strategy of which they will pay all our ad-hoc staff and even our staff. Because now our staff are all applying. Even our own staff are made to apply. There's no automatic employment for this census. Everybody is taking in at the same level. The only difference will be that maybe you've done this before and you've not done that before. So everybody is applying. So it's an open thing. We're trying to make sure we have an open process. So to be better than the last one.
To add to your own, let me tell you, some banks operate in a different way, like those old banks, UPS Bank. What happens is that if you are writing, this is your surname, that surname should be that surname, followed by the middle name and perhaps the first name. If you now mismatch any of these names, payment is returned. That is what normally happens.
So everybody should just take note. We should try and be careful to make sure your name match the other information.
Thank you.
The cognizance of our terrain, is there any major mechanism the Commission is putting in place for enumerators to assess the hinterland? Because you agree with me that some of our communities are somehow detached from the farm settlement or fishing camp. So what are those measures your Commission is putting in place to ensure every area is captured?
Okay, thank you very much. Before now, we had what we call the enumeration area demarcation. And that process took us almost 3-4 years. It took us a long time. So we made sure we covered every angle in Bayelsa State. Bayelsa State has a map. That's why we say this census is a digital and a technology-driven one. So when we use the GIS technology, and we also used our satellite imageries. So we had the whole of Bayelsa State covered digitally, and we made sure we now break every area of Bayelsa State into tiny bits without leaving any loop. If they don't match, if there's any gap anywhere from the satellite imageries, we will see that there's a gap because everything must fit into that map. And luckily for us, we were able to do that. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we found out that there was a gap somewhere in Ghana, and we sent the information to them. I will be able to enumerate and demarcate that area. So every part of Bayelsa State is accounted for, and that's why we know that during the main census, every part, because we are not going to be using the maps on the PDAs, what we call the personal digital assistants. That's the machine equipment we'll be using. All the maps of all the local governments will be downloaded on each PDA, depending on where you are going. So with that PDA, it will show you all the EAs. The satellite imageries are there to also guide you, so that they will show you exactly the limitations of every local government area. By the time we're posting everybody into every local government area, all the EAs are already accounted for. So there will be no part of Bayelsa State that will not be covered during this exercise, no matter how difficult the terrain. We're going to ensure that everybody is counted. That's why we keep saying our people should come out to be counted, because this exercise is our own. We have to own it. If we don't own it, then we should not complain later when our figures are low. That's why we're taking this time to go around every LGA, we're on air, we're on TV, we're telling everybody that the census is coming and it's for real. So everybody should be prepared. April 2023 is just around the corner. It's less than 6 months away, so we should all be prepared. The Commission has done everything that they need to do. It's not a matter of carrying paper anywhere or say there's too much pressure of logistics or whatever. All you have going for you is your PDA and your power bank. And it's a great technology. No paper is involved. As we are recording, as we're interviewing, it's being sent to our process, to our headquarters, into our servers, and it's counting as they're doing it. So it's going to be a very transparent process. But if you don't come out to be counted,